In today's video, we're going to be talking about how many crimes were committed in the GTA 6 trailer. And honestly, I don't say this is a bad thing. With any Grand Theft Auto game, you can expect a lot of crime to happen. After all, the name of the game is a crime and a felony. But how much crime was there done in the first GTA 6 trailer? It was only 91 seconds, but there was a lot, from reckless driving to indecent exposure. We're going to be looking at all 25 crimes being committed in total. This is coming from an analyst at the site Jeff Bett. It breaks down to a crime every 3.6 seconds. And to figure out whether it was actually a crime or not, the analyzers used local laws from Florida, which is where the fictional state of Leonida and Vice City are based, to determine both the crimes and the maximum penalties. So let's go ahead and take a look at them right now. We're going to go in chronological order. So we begin at 19 seconds, and the description of the crime here is holding a gun on an airboat, and the category of that crime would be brandishing a weapon. And in Florida, the maximum time for jail of that is 1 year. Now, just a few seconds later, at 25 seconds, the description of the crime would be standing in a moving vehicle. This would be considered reckless driving, and for repeat offenders, this would be 5 years in jail. Now, in that exact same scene, you can see another individual leaning out of a moving vehicle. This would also be considered reckless driving and 5 years for repeat offenders. Now, at 33 seconds, we see someone jaywalking. That's exactly what they're doing. Now, unfortunately, Florida does not have a maximum amount of time or even a certain amount of time, like a minimum or a maximum, but it's probably something you would get a little tap on the wrist and say, hey, don't do that again. Now, at 42 seconds, an uninvited gator crashes into a pool party. Now, in order for this to be considered a crime, you would have to have proof of intent to steal, but this would be considered first-degree burglary and a maximum time in prison of 5 years. At 44 seconds, we can see someone sitting on top of a moving vehicle. Again, this would also be considered reckless driving and 5 years for repeat offenders. There's a lot that happens at 45 seconds. All of those would be considered street racing. You have a car doing donut maneuvers, actually hosting a street race, spectating a street race, blocking traffic with a vehicle, and parking in the middle of an intersection. All of those would give you a 5-year jail sentence if you are indeed a repeat offender. Now, at 47 seconds, we have our biggest crime so far. That is a gator breaking into either like a cafe or a convenience store with proven intent to steal. This would be considered second-degree burglary and a maximum sentence of 15 years in jail. Now, at 50 seconds, we have avoiding arrest, which would be considered resisting arrest, and that would put you in jail for 5 years. Also, at 50 seconds, you've got public nudity and indecent exposure, which would also get you 5 years for repeat offenders. Being parked on a highway is considered reckless driving. This happens at 51 seconds and would be, again, 5 years for repeat offenders. At 53 seconds, getting out of a moving vehicle on a highway, also considered reckless driving and would be 5 years for repeat offenders. The crazy woman with 2 hammers, which would be considered a dangerous weapon at 58 seconds, that is using a weapon in a threatening manner and is 5 years in jail. The Thrillbillies at the Mud Club for having a man breaking a table, that's considered destruction of property at 59 seconds, and that would be 5 years in jail if the table is valued at over $1,000. It didn't seem like that table was over $1,000, but you never know, maybe it was. We also have at 1 minute and 4 seconds dine-and-dashing, which is considered theft of services, and this could be up to 30 years in jail if the value is over $20,000. Now, I've heard of some dinners getting pretty expensive, but you would probably expect that to be at like a really nice restaurant. The restaurant in question here is called Pee-wee's. I don't even know if you could spend $20,000 at Pee-wee's if you bought the entire restaurant everything they wanted. But you never know. It could have been over $20,000, and thus meaning that individual could spend 30 years in jail. Now, we've also got more to cover here because this exact same individual for flipping over a car would be considered dangerous driving, and that would be 5 years for repeat offenders. And then moving to the next scene, wheeling on a public road, that is also considered dangerous driving and would be 5 years for repeat offenders. And in the very next scene, avoiding arrest on dirt bikes and causing havoc to police is also considered resisting arrest, and that would give you a 5-year sentence. Now, at 1 minute and 9 seconds, we see Jason and Lucia committing robbery, which would be considered second-degree burglary because of occupancy. And this, if you are caught, is a 15-year jail sentence. And Jason and Lucia are getting even into more trouble because skidding on the road as they're escaping is considered dangerous driving, which would be 5 years for repeat offenders. And then armed robbery in the very last scene, and that's considered first-degree burglary because of the weapons, would give you a 30-year sentence. So just in that trailer alone, Jason and Lucia racked up almost a lifetime's worth of years that they should spend behind bars. So I want to add up the total years that Jason and Lucia would spend in prison based on all the crimes they did. Leaning out of a moving vehicle, which would be reckless driving, that would get them 5 years in jail. I don't know if that would go to the driver or if it would go to Lucia. So we're just going to wrap them up all together here. And then they have robbery, which is 15 years. So that's a total of 20. They have skidding on the road, dangerous drivers. That's 5. That's a total of 25. And then armed robbery would bring them all the way up to 30 for a grand total of 55 years that they would spend behind bars just for the crimes that they committed in the very first trailer. So if you were to add up all 25 crimes, you would spend 186 years of a maximum time in jail or behind bars. Now, the reason we got kind of a funky number is because jaywalking doesn't have a maximum time, and then brandishing a weapon is only 1 year in jail, which I thought would have been more than that. And weirdly enough, animals actually got a pretty decent time behind bars if we consider the fact that that was the same gator, or we at least loop the gators into one category. They're spending 20 years in jail. That's pretty insane just for some wildlife, but they were technically committing some pretty good crimes. So when GTA 6 comes out in 2025 for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, just know that you're going to have to commit crimes throughout it. So if you don't like that, you probably shouldn't be playing the game. One person that probably will not be playing the game because he doesn't like crime is Elon Musk. He actually responded to someone on the day the GTA 6 trailer came out. It was this guy, Dan. He said, "A list of games I have not played. GTA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, of course you haven't played 6. It's not out yet. And Elon Musk said tried, but didn't like doing crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene, just couldn't do it. So needless to say, I don't think with the amount of crime we've seen in the trailer, Mr. Elon Musk is going to be a big fan of GTA 6, and I don't suspect he's going to be playing it either. But anyways, that is all the information that I've got for you guys in this video today. Hopefully you did enjoy. Of all the crimes committed in the first GTA 6 trailer, which one did you like the most, or which one could you see yourself doing the most once the game comes out in 2025? I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.